Bob Glenn is the pastor, one of the pastors at Redeemer Bible Church here in the Twin Cities, and a speaker at this fall's conference called Act the Miracle, God's Work and Ours in the Mystery of Sanctification. And we were thinking here, talking a little bit beforehand about don't waste your life. And I've written a book, and I love to preach on taking people by the collar and say, don't waste it. Don't live your life in such a way that you come to the end of it and say, I wasted it. I devoted myself to the wrong things. I spent all my time on the wrong things. I prioritized the wrong things. I treasured the wrong things. I didn't do what I ought to have done. And when we were having that conversation once upon a time, you jumped in and wanted to say...
Well, I wanted to say, or let's remember also that the only truly unwasted life was Christ's life. And that life is given to me as a Christian by imputation, so that when I stand before God on the judgment day, I'm going to have lots of wasted moments. Yeah. Even if my heart is just, I want God, I'm going hard, I'm going to have a... And so what's going to give me confidence on the day of judgment is not that I didn't waste my life, but that Christ didn't waste his, and his is mine. And for me, because I'm a mess, I need to hear that I have this unwasted life, and that knowing that doesn't dissuade me from not wasting my life. I want to live a life that's meaningful and purposeful, but I also need to know that God is not going to smite me or put me out of the family because I haven't lived up to that, because in point of fact, I never will, no one ever will.
Yeah, so let me see if I can say back in other language what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying, if we don't have justification, that is the imputation of an alien righteousness, an alien unwasted life, counted as ours, we won't be able to pursue with effort an unwasted life without sinking into legalism or despair or presumption.
Yes, exactly. And so I want that note. I want that note struck loud and clear, because I think because we're oriented toward works, because of the fall, I think when we have to just be careful when we say, don't waste your life. We want to say that very strongly. Right. But where I want to put the accent is on, you've got an unwasted life.
So the sermon doesn't sound like a motivational speech by blank.
Yes.
Who in the newspaper is having a big seminar where you pay $500 to go learn how to not waste your business.
Exactly. Yeah.
So here's a verse. Tell me if this verse says it, because I've been thinking about it recently. It's Hebrews 10:14. Christ has perfected for all time those who are being sanctified. So if I get that right in relation to this conversation, he has perfected for all time means he has so worked in his life and by his union of me through faith with him that his perfections, his unwasted life is counted as mine. And not only, several ways to say it, the evidence that I'm there, that I'm enjoying that, is that I am being sanctified. That is, I am progressively not wasting my life.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Or, I think to really press in and make sure what you said gets said, my confidence that I am already perfect or perfected, have lived in Christ the unwasted life, is the means by which that is possible.
Yeah. And the other thing I would say is that verse says, he is perfected for all time, those who are being sanctified by whom? Like, the Lord is actually doing the progressive sanctification or the sanctifying of those people. Now, obviously, I'm participating with God in that, it's God who is at work in me, but I am working out my salvation. But I want to just really strike the note loud and clear that it's God who does it.
Yep. And those two doings, the justification doing and the sanctification doing, aren't the same kind of doing.
No.
Here's an imputing doing, and here's a transformative doing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. The progressive sanctification, but there is a definitive sanctification by which we're called as saints by virtue of my union with Christ. But the progressive piece, I'm doing that.
Good. Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.